who's back.
Half a year later.
Yeah, no doubt, man. 7 months was our last show. It was ridiculous.
So we're going to bring it back in the summertime and the beaches and the pools, talking about Jaws and sharks. Yeah.
We did a showing of Jaws from our pool put up the big sheet, put the projector out, and we watched Jaws from inside the pool.
That was badass. That is something I need to get on.
It was awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but sharks. Jaws.
Yep. Today we are talking Jaws. Mostly going to be Josh talking Jaws because while I said I just saw the first Jaws a couple weeks ago, I haven't seen any of the other ones in like 2 or 3 decades.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Ironically, because I wasn't even alive when Jaws came out. Dino was like 45 years old when Jaws came out.
Huh.
1975. Yeah. How old that make you, buddy?
Was it 75?
It was 75.
I was this many years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think I was like Emma's age when I first saw it, like 5 or 6. And then I wouldn't go into public pools for weeks after that. I really wouldn't. Yeah. I had a weird weekend where I was unsupervised and I watched like Jaws, Piranha, and Anaconda like all in the same weekend.
I see a water theme.
And then I just like after that, I couldn't get into any like swimming apparatus without thinking I was going to get consumed by something.
Well, you were 5, so.
And that other one, Lake Placid, yeah, with the giant crocodile. Yeah.
Lake Placid.
Yeah.
No, I think that generated a fear of pools and a love of ridiculous B movies. Is that what that's what it did for you?
Oh, Jaws? If we didn't have Jaws, we wouldn't have like Sharknado and what's the best one I saw lately? Sharktopus versus I don't even remember. They're all bad though. Yeah. Sharktopus, yeah. The shark movies are the found footage rule. About 1 out of every 100 is quality.
Have you seen on Discovery Plus? They have it's Shark Week or Shark Month or something. They got every kind of shark show you can think of. And so while I didn't actually click and watch them, you can see the little preview screen as you're scrolling through the shows. And they had Ian Ziering has a show about him and some biologist. I don't know how many episodes they milked out of this thing, but trying to see if a Sharknado could actually be possible.
God bless America.
And they dug up William Shatner for some sort of like space shark show. I don't know what the hell it was. I just saw Shatner and then some scientist and the shark behind him.
Are you kidding me? Will you knock it off? Don't worry, it's set to jump.
Ah! What? Yeah.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Such a monumental.
I never thought I'd say this, but let's get to a more realistic shark movie, Jaws.
Jaws. Yeah. And it was based off a book that came out a year earlier, which was a fantastic read. Completely different from the movie.
I didn't know it was based on the book.
Yeah, it's a solid novel. They just re-released it this year too, with like some nice ass, whatever they call them.
Was there a big storyline difference, or they're pretty much true to the movie, true to the book?
Yes. Peter Benchley made it, and then he felt so bad at the fear of sharks that the movie and book made that he spent like the last 20 years of his life as like a shark conservationist and donating all of his money to like save sharks and shark research. And yeah, but the book takes a completely different turn. There's a whole subplot where the mayor is being shaken down by the mafia, and that's why he's such a shady guy. And then it's great. And God damn it, what's the Matt, the dorky guy. I can't remember the actor's name.
Hooper. Oh, yeah. I can't remember.
So he's banging Brady's wife. He's banging his wife the whole movie on the side. Yeah, there's like a whole subplot with that, with her cheating on him with Hooper, and then And then when he goes down in the tank at the end of the movie, the shark actually tears him to shreds and he dies at the end of the movie.
I can see why they would change that for the movie.
They changed a lot, but you know what? Honestly, the movie is such a visual milestone. Like,
It really is. I
that's
mean,
cool.
watching it nowadays, and especially like when the
And it
shark
holds
swimming
up.
to the surface, it's ridiculous. Like
If my
sharks
5-year-old
swim
could
with their
watch
mouth
that,
all the way open, creating a wake. But at that time,
it is the best example of budget filmmaking. When Steven Spielberg was a nobody, and everybody envisioned they're going to go watch a shark terrorize everybody, and instead you just get a camera lens going through the water with that beautiful score. Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, but
Yeah.
it was terrifying. He showed how good he is as a director. That was
And
terrifying.
John Williams did the music, and the music is legendary.
And there was enough shark to scare you.
Bruce the Shark, yeah.
So
Yep.
to me, one of the scariest freaky scenes is not near the end when people are getting shredded and the boat's getting tore up. It's
No.
the when the kid gets killed in the beginning on his raft, and you just see like this fin, and it just like it's really short, but it's gruesome, like really terrifying.
And that was originally like a drawn out 8-minute scene where like you saw the kid get ripped limb to limb.
Really, they filmed a
And
little
you-
scene like that.
If you look it up online, there's black and white still shots that they saved from it, but they got rid of the footage. But then yeah, he went short and simple, and he thought his goofy mechanical shark wouldn't be taken seriously enough for a scene like that.
No, I thought the way he did it was perfect because as the movie goes, you start off seeing none of the shark with the first kill, and then a little bit the second, a little
taste,
bit
little
more.
taste.
It just slowly builds till the
And
very
the climax is in a weird pirate shark battle in the ocean.
end.
God.
Which brings us to the actors and the characters. For a shark movie, those are some great characters, man.
Even the rules of the shark, it's simple. There's no like they took out a lot of stuff from the book, but the characters are great even though they're simple. Like Quentin's the man.
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
You don't know shit about
Fantastic.
Quentin. Either Robert Shaw, yeah.
His monologue about the USS Indianapolis was just fantastic.
It's haunting when they're
It really is.
when he's down there telling
Wait.
I guess
history
that dude
teacher
was a
alert,
severe
history teacher
alcoholic
alert,
too.
100% true. That story, 100% true.
Nerd alert!
Starboard hoop, aren't you watching it?
Turned out for the best. Yeah.
Oh, it made the character.
Everything about Jaws gets paired. Like, how many times do you see Quint, the model of that guy, be put in other movies, scratching the chalkboard, and some rugged like sailor guy? You know what I mean?
He's sort of like a drunk Popeye.
Yeah, he kind of is. Yeah. And Brody's awesome. I love the scenes with Brody, and I do love how his character folds out between this one and the second one. I'm not on the second one though, but
No, he plays that character perfectly because he's trying to do his job. He's terrified of the water. He's got to put those two together. So having someone like that on the boat who doesn't know anything about anything.
he's like the balance between Quint and the dork. Like yeah. There's so many good scenes in that fucking movie.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, there you go.
Dreyfuss.
Even like the scene, I was watching an interview for the making of The Quiet Place, and he was talking about how Jaws was his biggest inspiration for A Quiet Place. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I never saw Quiet. Didn't Krasinski make that?
He made that, yeah.
And his wife.
He's part of the, the Peel group of comedy guys turning to horror movies doing badass jobs. But
The Quiet Place is good.
it's a genius sound design. Like literally, that is the best movie I've ever seen in theaters just because of the sound. Well, the whole movie is quiet.
Yeah.
And it's super suspense, and a lot of it's built on what you hear in the music. And he was saying, like, if there was no Jaws, I never would have been able to make this movie.
Okay.
And the family can't talk, so like the scenes where they're eating dinner and they're talking in sign language and stuff. He goes back to Jaws. He's like, one of my favorite scenes in movie history is before he goes out on the boat with the other guys when he's eating dinner with his son and they're goofing around, but they're not saying anything.
Right.
But like it speaks volumes. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a legendary movie. I make my daughter watch it. You know that. She watched it with you.
Mm-hmm.
She still has a conspiracy theory that there's a second shark.
She cheers for the shark. God bless her.
She does. The shark's the good guy. She's so pissed when he dies, but and like through watching Jaws with her when she was smaller, now we'll watch something on the weekend, and it'll be like a half hour in, and there's still like she likes zombie movies now. She's like, "Where's the zombies?" And then she's like, "Oh yeah, Dad, you gotta tease it, Dad, and you gotta build the story before then." I'm like, exactly. You watched Jaws with me.
Your heart was melting with that part. You got to build the story, Dad.
Yeah. You got to hit the climax, or the shark is cheap and meaningless if it's just, out bucking right in the beginning of the movie.
You want depth with your 25-foot shark that eats boats.
Yeah. Yeah, you really do. Named Bruce. Yeah.
All right. Take us to Jaws 2, my friend. I will tag you in. There you go. Fill in me and the audience. Jaws 2.
So I use Jaws 2 to Jaws as Aliens to Alien. Whereas the first one was beautifully done and suspenseful and, masterly crafted. This one really doesn't give a shit, and they turned it more like into a slasher. Like instead of teasing Jaws, this shark is just all over the place. Just, where it was a big deal in the first movie, you wait till the very end to get more bits and bobs of him, and he kills a couple people, bites the ship down. This movie, middle of the movie, you have scenes with like 12 kids in boats, and the Jaws just being like, ha, 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 just picking them all apart.
Isn't that the movie where he takes down a helicopter?
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. That's what I mean. This one, they just pulled every trick in the book. I think Jaws 2 was the first example of the sequel cash grab. And then by the end of the franchise, the cow was just dehydrated on the ground, like, no more Jaws movies.
I do take a little personal offense that you compared it to Alien and Aliens, because I
compared it to Alien? Well, I know you love Aliens.
Our Aliens episode, but I prefer Aliens to Alien.
Okay, but it's the same concept. Aliens is a way more popcorn flick than Alien. Yeah. Alien was an actual suspenseful horror movie, and it's the same thing. Jaws, people love Jaws to this day, and they analyze it. You ask them about Jaws 2, they say, well, that was the last good one that was fun. Because it was a solid sequel. It was doable.
True.
But there's not much to the story. Another shark shows up, and everybody thinks Brody's going crazy, rightfully, because he's like shell-shocked from the first movie. So the first like half hour is just him like freaking out at everything. They find the camera in the ocean, and he's like, oh, there's pictures of sharks in it. And there's like jellyfish swimming by, and he calls everybody out of the beach, so he gets canned in that movie. And then the shark comes back, a different shark. So this one was over the top, but it was still solid. But then that was the end of it. You might as well, after that, they started bringing this. I think Spielberg still had something to do with this one. But then, then you had Jaws 3 and 4. And that was just.
He was the 3D Jaws that was in a water park, right?
It was a SeaWorld.
SeaWorld, okay.
So
go
he's dead. Brody's dead in Jaws 3. And his two sons grow up to work at SeaWorld. Of course, it's like the story of the kid with cancer becoming an oncologist. Right. Makes no sense. But that's it. And then SeaWorld gets invaded by sharks. And then in place of story and realism, it's 3D, so it doesn't matter. You're like, wait, there's a plot.
I remember the one scene where like the shark's coming right at the lens, because it's like the underwater observatory area, and the shark's coming right at it and crashes through.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was just like nothing made sense. There was no flow. There was no story. And it was just scene to scene to scene of like SeaWorld getting invaded. No character had any depth or meaning. Like if you watch that right now and you were even slightly distracted, they could kill off the main character at the end of the movie. No spoilers. And you'd be like, oh, who is that? Oh, like 99% of the body count is just unnamed victims. So I actually read something back to Jaws 1. The little boy who dies at the movie, remember the mom slaps Brody?
Didn't I send that to you, that they met in real life at a restaurant?
No, I shared that on Facebook.
Oh, I sent it to other people then. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry, stole your thunder. Go ahead.
No. That was it. That's the story. Yeah, he ended up owning like some restaurant with like Jaws-themed stuff in it.
Right. He named the sandwich. Didn't he? He named a sandwich after his character.
Yeah.
And the woman wanted to talk to the person about name, and then he came out and it was him, and they hadn't seen each other in forever.
Yeah, she hasn't seen him since his pretend funeral. Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Small world, man.
And I confirmed it. You see stuff on Facebook, but I actually
You went to
looked
Snow.
into that. I was like, that's one hell of a story. But there's not much to dive into with 3 and 4. And then 4. 4 is the greatest cinematic abortion of all time. Michael Caine is in there, though, for some reason.
Because he needed a job at that. That was a slow dip in his career.
They literally interviewed him for that, and he's like, I don't even remember anything about that movie. He's like, all I know is it paid for like my 4th condo at the time.
So isn't it like the shark follows their sailboat down to like the Caribbean or something?
It takes a supernatural element. So Brody's wife is still alive.
Right. I remember
She starts having like premonitions in her sleep and like seeing through the shark's eye. And it turns out the shark from the first movie had some vendetta against him and wanted to kill the whole family. He ends up killing one of the sons because they scrapped the story from the third one. And now the son is a cop like his dad. And the shark kills the son on his boat, rips his arm off, and then she starts being like haunted by the shark. And there's like a psychic
the shark
connection.
from the first movie. I thought it was like an offspring of the shark from the first movie. The shark
It might have been, honestly. It was something.
The first movie's dead. It got blowed up.
I know it got blown up, but whatever it is, it has a psychic connection because then she moves to like the Bahamas and Michael Caine is there. And then this thing like, follows her. It follows her. It has a link to her.
Isn't every time a movie comes out, isn't the shark a little bigger? Like isn't the one in 4 like 40 feet long, like some monstrosity, basically a megalodon?
You start off with a minnow and you end with the meg. Yeah, by the end of the, what I mean?
In Jaws 1, it was 25 feet, which is, there are great whites that are that big.
Yeah. No, but then you get to the 4th one and this thing's, this thing's 10,
bigger
10
than any
tank
great white's ever been. Yeah.
rolled up. And this movie literally like fell into itself. It had no cohesive story. They would talk about doing something and then they would go to the next scene. That never happened. And then the next scene would be like 20 minutes before what happened. You know what I mean? And like there's 2 hilarious scenes. Like Michael Caine, his boat gets taken down by the shark. He jumps into the water, swims to a helicopter, jumps on the helicopter, and then he's piloting the helicopter in dry clothes. It's hilarious. And then they shot the shark death. They finally kill the shark. They blow it up. And it's shot from like 10 different angles. And they throw like one harpoon at it. So you get the one angle, it's like in its chest. And then they shoot it from the next angle. And it's like a foot longer and it's sticking out of its head instead. Like it was schlock fest. They knew it.
It's like they shot a bunch of scenes and then just randomly sprinkled them together in the cutting room in no cohesive order.
I could probably do a 2-hour dissection of the last one, Jaws: The Revenge, just on how atrocious and hilarious it is. But there was a movie in '81, an Italian director made it, and it was called Great White, and he based it off the author's sequel to Jaws, because he made Jaws. He made like that awful squid book, and then he made one called Great White. So he called it Great White, and he took the elements from Great White, but then he also made it into like a shot-for-shot Italian Jaws remake. So bad that they wouldn't even play it in the States because Spielberg was going to sue him.
Wow.
But I own it, and I enjoy it. It's way more gorier, too, because the Italians didn't give a shit.
I was wondering if you're going to, but I own it.
I do.
It's
I
so
have a
sad they
closet.
wouldn't show it in the States, but I own it.
I have a closet down yonder over there. It has way too many shark movies, mainly from Italy, too, that I'm not proud to own. Yeah.
You do love yourself an Italian director, don't you?
Oh, I do, because they don't care. They're gloves off on everything. Like Monster Shark. Yeah, Monster Shark is another Italian one that came out from the Jaws days. But imagine Jaws with no skill, no class, it's everywhere, and just ripped off bodies and a little sci-fi element. Yeah, it's great.
That sounds.
And then when you have too much to drink, you watch it with the dubs, and it's even funnier. Yeah. But yes, that's it for Jaws. Jaws 1 is a masterpiece. Honorary shark mentions. The Meg.
The Meg, It's like the transporter with a shark.
All style, no substance. Yeah.
Just,
That was a definitive 2020, whatever year, perfect summer popcorn movie.
I will give one decent scene in the movie, which I got a little chuckle out of, is when they had the first Meg hanging on the boat and they're all proud of it, and that dude's sitting there posing with it, and then the second Meg comes and just like,
oh, just eats it, and they're like, oh well,
oh, yeah.
our day isn't
There's
done.
another one, like, what do you do on the boat? You're like, all right, did all that work to get the first one? Guess there's more.
Dwight's in that movie.
Who?
Rainn Wilson, Dwight.
Oh,
In the office. Up. Guest star.
guest star.
Oh, look who it is.
Hey, so every episode has to have
Emma's input.
Emma's input, but an alcohol sponsor.
That's why I turned to the great taste of Colt 45.
Jaws is on the table right now for a remake too, and Spielberg is fighting against it.
I saw that.
Remake.
Absolutely.
There's literally no point.
Didn't he signed with either Netflix or Amazon Prime to put all his stuff on it, but he said, it might have been Netflix. He said in the contract that they're not allowed to do a remake of Jaws.
Yeah, because there's literally no point. All you do is ruin it. If it's not broken, why fix it?
I mean, how much different can the plot be in any of those shark movies? Just make another one, call it something else. You don't have to call it Jaws.
Well, I mean, yeah, half the time they remake things. It's just the title, and
At the end of the day, just title it just like Jaws.
you can call it that. Yeah, just like Jaws. Call it
If
something else.
they can
Call it
make
Mountain.
Sharknado, they can make just like Jaws.
Just like Jaws. Yeah. Doing that with everything. But The Exorcist is getting remade right now. That's another peeve on my list of legendary films that don't need a remake.
Okay, The Exorcist, that's like every third episode of Supernatural. I don't need a movie. I can just go watch Sam and Dean do that.
Don't compare
Oh, I did it.
your sitcom
Oh,
to William Friedkin's legacy.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Supernatural is a deep, serious show. Just because they had a Scooby-Doo episode, don't judge.
And they also had an episode where they broke the wall and they were,
They were
themselves.
themselves. Yeah. Dude, that was incredible.
Okay,
All right, so
Exorcist.
I would see the remake of that.
No, the original. Travel over to my other YouTube channel where I talked about it for about 45 minutes and you'll understand. Anyways, I did a demonic triple feature video.
This ridiculous, way too long episode of the Brocast is brought to you by Flowers. No, wait,
Kettle One.
Kettle One.
In the spirit of all RTDs. Yeah.
When you want to be sophisticated but still drink a White Claw, Kettle One.
Yes.
It's basically a White Claw, but it's not brewed. It's actual vodka and stuff. So it's a vodka drink.
Wait. The Kettle One ones do have vodka, right?
Yeah, it's a mixed drink with vodka, Kettle One vodka in a can.
Oh, it says it. Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
I have not gone into those. Do they have flavors of those?
Well, this flavor is grapefruit rosé.
Oh, okay.
Rose. No, not rosé, rose.
Some of those are quality.
I don't know. This is the last can left, so it's the only reason I was able to get a visual for you because they're pretty delicious.
Yeah.
Good job,
Those are
Kettle
good.
One. You make the best vodka, the only vodka I really like, and you did a pretty darn good job on a canned drink. My wife thoroughly enjoys them.
Bacardi's doing those now. Tanqueray's doing those now. Crown Royal's doing those now. It's never ending. But
We shall see. You know what? After the last few I've had, I won't say no. I'll give them a shot. Chances are
I was going to give Crown a shot,
I like that one.
but Crown Royal, they swapped some of this, like they have Crown Peach in a can now, but they swapped the actual Crown Peach with like malt liquor mixed in there, and it tastes like hell. And it's like $20 for a 4-pack.
Yeah, some of them are pricey. I just realized with the lighting the way it is right now and my Arabic dark circles under my eyes, it looks like I have a black eye right there. I promise you I don't, everybody. See?
Oh, it does a little bit, yeah.
Just the lighting, and I promise you this is just water. This is not actually this. Family friendly. There you go.
Yep. With
All
my adopted face, I don't have Black eyes. I'm gorgeous. Thank you.
You are dead sexy.
I'm dead sexy. Yeah, I bought a kettlebell. I picked it up like twice. I'm getting there. Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead. One more workout. I'm gonna be totally ripped.
I'm in like fat old guy mode now. When the first time I jumped in my pool, I thought back to like, remember when Mom worked at Lifetime Fitness?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I lived in the pool there. I was skinny because of that place. Like I swam all the time. And I thought back to I'm like, watch and learn. And I literally like, boop, boop, boop. And I'm like,
Done. Dude, swimming is intense.
Fast food. Couple years of cigarettes.
Give me a Whopper. Just inject it.
Yeah. All the bad life choices are coming out right now. Even that, man. I swim now, even if it's for a half hour. Like I'm sitting on the couch later, and I'm like, oh, my body. What's wrong with it? You exercise, Josh. Oh.
Dude, I'll never forget when I started coaching soccer. I was coaching girls soccer. I'm on the sidelines, and they're screwing something up in a drill. I'm like, man, let me show you how you do it. And I went out there during a scrimmage.
You broke a hip.
Like, maybe about a minute and a half in, I was like, you guys got it now. You got it. I'm like, where's the Gatorade?
Back to alcohol. The reason I can't swim good in a pool. So seltzers. Seltzers have been the jam. And me and Dino have both revoked our man cards in the name of drinking canned bubbly
my
things.
man card. And
so I was digging the seltzers with the malt shit like White Claw, and then I started drinking High Noons, which are way superior quality in the seltzer realm. Then I found tequila-based seltzers, and I can't stop. There was Cacti, and I started drinking these Mamitas, and it's just there's 4 different flavors, but it's just tequila with soda water.
Yeah, see, I'm not a tequila fan, so.
I started again. I'm still, bourbon till I die.
Before we sign off, I'm going to show you one more. Hold on. I'm going to put on my hold screen. Give me just a second. Be right back.
It's unavailable right now. Please hold.
All right. So speaking of delicious alcoholic liquids from south of the border, when Chris and Cindy came to visit, Chris wanted to go get some little something special to sip on around the pool. So he got
Mezcal. Oh, man. That's a nice one.
Think smoky tequila.
I've seen that. I'm not even joking with the supplier shortages and tequila being trendy right now. There's like in my neighborhoods I work in, there's literally like tequila turf wars. Like they're all surveilling each other, how much tequila they're getting. Everybody's buying it out, calling all the time. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're like sending their employees. What?
I didn't realize there were shortages.
Oh yeah. They're like sending their employees like undercover across the street to like watch how much tequila they're getting and then reporting back to them. Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed here with Total Wine in Fresno. It's everything you want all the time.
Trendy thing in Michigan, it's nowhere near as cool as that tequila is Bush Apple. Yep. If it didn't have Bush on it, if it just said light apple,
yeah,
I'd support it. But I got my dirty 30 of it, and it's sold out everywhere, and everybody's raving about it, so I had to.
30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's end on that note.
People are like, that's expensive. It's like $22. I'm like, that means it's like 60 cents a can. Like, what are you talking about? It's
for a 30 pack.
Yeah, it's like $22. And even then, 60 cents is probably too much for a can of Bush.
Well, actually, yeah. For a can of Bush, you probably are overpaying. But they threw some apple juice in there, made it better.
That's what it tastes like. But my diabetes hasn't shocked me yet, so I'm pretty sure it's okay.
Wilford Brimley would not be happy with you.
Oh, no. Wilford Brimley drinks Miller Lite only.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are signing off. I'm Dino.
I'm Josh.
Yeah, he had to think about it.